Hello, welcome to Sarah Overbooked. I am Sarah and I am here to do my next TBR. I am no longer going to be calling it monthly TBRs because I'm just going to do my TBRs as I need them. I will read them until I'm done and then pull another prompts and books. So I almost got to the end of January, but not quite. So I am on my last book from the January TBR, the first TBR of the year. So I'm here to pull my second TBR of the year, and I'm going to do it the same as before, 4 prompts, 4 books, using the prompt jars again, the book jar, and the prompt jar. I'm going to go ahead and pull 4 from each and see what we get. I think we'll start with the easy one and go with the book jar. Know exactly what we get right away. Book number 1 is Necrophenia by Robert Rankin. That is one of the oldest books on my TBR, so that's good. Book number 2 is My Choice. I get to choose any book I want. That is also good. Book number 3 is going to be Piranesi by Susanna Clark. I'm looking forward to reading that one so much. I'm so glad I got that. And the last book from the book jar is going to be, hold on. The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. All right. Interested in reading that one. I've heard good things and I've heard bad things. I know people who loved it and people who hated it. And that seems to be about it. You either love it or hate it. At least the people I know. All right, now we go for prompts. Prompt number 1. The 8th most recently added to my TBR. All right, that'll take a little bit to figure out, but not too hard. Prompt number 2 is going to be an impulse purchase. That's not going to be hard. I have a few of those. Prompt number 3. A horror. It needs to spell ghost or scare with the title and the author. That should be easy. And prompt number 4, last prompt, will be title starts with C. Okay, that should be easy also. I will be back in a moment, or in just a swipe of the screen, with my pile of books for you. Okay, back with a stack of books for you. So my TBR is going to consist of Under the Dome Part 2 by Stephen King. I did read the first part. I enjoyed the first part. We are going on to finish the actual book itself instead of being stopped in the middle. It also has The Whispering Room by Dean Koontz, book number 2 of Jane Hawk series. The first one was meh, but I own the whole series. It was given to me. I did not buy it. So I will give it one more book. If it stays the way it is, this will be the last one, and we'll just DNF and go on through. If I enjoy Ghost Road Blues, which is the last book of my last TBR that I am starting, I will have to find Dead Man's Song, Book 2 in the Pine Deep series. That is still to be determined, and I do know my library has it, so that's good. We're continuing on with Wizard for Hire. This is the 3-book compendium of the first 3 books in the Dresden Files series. So the next book is Full Moon. So we'll continue on with that. Fables number 5. I started the Fables series, graphic novels, end of last year. I read number 4 last month, so Fables number 5 will be on this month, which I get those from the library. We get to move on to The Handmaid's Tale, pulled from my book jar, so I'll be reading this. I believe it is a series, so this is going to add on to my TBR for next month. And then, I didn't do this well, sorry, Piranesi by Susanna Clark, also pulled from my book jar. So looking forward to this. I have high expectations, so hopefully that doesn't screw me over like a lot of my high expectation books do, because I go in with too high expectations. I'm not telling you what these are about. Basic Under the Dome Part 2 is going to be the continuation of the story of a city that one day a dome just covers it and nobody knows why, how, or how to get out, in a nutshell. The Whispering Room, Jane Hawk is a FBI agent on leave, tracking down the people who have been implanting nanotechnology into people and programming them. Sounds like it would be good, but it's not written well. Dresden Files. Dresden is a wizard for hire, since the title, and he is hired out as a PI for the cases that involve magic. Handmaid's Tale, a dystopian, is set in the Republic of Gilead, where the elite rule and everybody is put into their own area where the elite think that they belong. Handmaids are the women that can still reproduce, and they are given to the families of the elite who cannot. And Piranesi is about Piranesi, who lives, I believe, alone in a house that might be sentient or not. I'm not 100% sure. You're supposed to go in this not knowing much. I still do not know much, even though this has been out for a while, and I want to keep it that way. All right, and my next one, is Robert Rankin's Necrophenia. This is one of the books that has been on my TBR the longest. I've had it forever. If you don't know Robert Rankin, he is a humor writer, so again, may not be for everybody. This one in every 3 people living is really dead. It's a matter of historical record that during the latter part of World War II, England's top secret Ministry of Serendipity enlisted the services of arch-magician Aleister Crowley to create a homunculus. So there's that. I'm looking forward to that. And then my next one, impulse purchase. This is going to be a reread for me. I bought this a couple of years back, read it, and decided I wanted to continue on with the series. I bought 2 other books. This is a 6-book series. Never continued on. It's time to continue on. The Graveyard Shift, the 24/7 Demon Mart series by D.M. Gway. I don't know exactly if that's how you say it or not, but I enjoyed this book and I am looking forward to reading the series. They're all pretty short, so it should go quick. This series is about a 24/7 convenience store that it has a gate to hell in it, and the employees have to keep those out who aren't supposed to come through and make sure the people that, or the beings that do come through, have the right paperwork. So there's that. And then what do I have? Oh, a horror that spells ghost or scare. I went with a horror that has probably the longest title I have, so that would be no problem. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. So this title can actually spell ghost and scare without using our author's name. So the Southern Book Guide to Slaying Vampires is Grady Hendrix' book about vampires. Basically, Southern ladies start wondering if one of the neighbors is a vampire, and yeah, book ensues. Next was the 8th most recently added to my TBR. I checked my whole TBR on Goodreads, and the 8th most recently added on there was a book that is not out yet. So I went with the 8th most recently added to my physical TBR because, well, I am prioritizing my physical TBR. That being said, the 8th book that I brought into my house is Dark Sisters by Christy DeMeester. It was my December book of the month pick, and I only got it because it was a horror, and actual horrors from book of the month are very rare and few and far between. And I wanted one of the other books that I had to buy something to get the other book. If you know how BOTM works, then you know. But this one, horror meets historical fiction. Hopefully it's okay. I'm not a big horror historical fiction fan. When a curse bridges generations, binding the fates of 3 women, Anne Bolton, a healer facing persecution for witchcraft. Sounds interesting. Bargains with a dark entity for protection, but the fire she unleashes will reverberate for centuries. Mary Shepard, a picture-perfect wife in a suffocating community, falls for Sharon and begins a forbidden affair that could destroy them both. And Camilla Burson, a rebellious daughter of a preacher, defies conformist expectations to uncover an ancient power as her father's flock spirals into crisis. 3 women, 3 centuries, 1 legacy of fury, love, and power that refuses to die. Well, I don't know if I'm really gonna like this or not. It has potential. I have liked books like this before, and I've also hated books like this before. I've never read from Christy DeMeester, so hopefully this is one of the ones that I will love. And the next one is a book that starts with C, and since I had so many darker books, The Handmaid's Tale, Demon Mart, Graveyard Shift, that's a horror comedy, Southern Book Guides. I guess I have a lot of horror comedies on here, not a lot of horrors, but I mean, you could make an argument for The Handmaid's Tale being a horror. I decided I didn't want anything horror related, so I went with Circe mythology retelling. Basically the retelling of the story of Circe, who is the, is she a witch? Sorceress. Who is the sorceress from Homer's Odyssey. I'm looking forward to that. I do like me some mythology and retellings, and in that vein, my choice for this TBR is going to be this Princess Kills Monsters, which is a Misadventures of Fairy Tale Stepsister book by Rye Herman. Basically, it is a dark, I don't know if it's dark, but it's a fairy tale retelling about a princess who needs to be constantly saved by others, and coming of age princess fairy tale. Hopefully it's good. I've been staring at that one for a while, and that, I believe, is my entire TBR for my second TBR of the year. Let's see if I can get this for you. It's a possibility of 13 books on the TBR because of the 2 series continuations that I don't own. Let's see if we can get this in there. There we go. There it is. And the other 2 would be The Fables Volume 5 and Dead Man's Song Book 2 in the Pine Deep trilogy, if I like the first one enough to continue on. And there you have it. Have you read any of these? Did you enjoy any of these books? I should get to it sooner than the others. Let me know. If you would like to leave a comment and help my channel grow and don't have anything to say, leave a crown emoji in the comments, and I will see you next time.